Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 20th, 2016, and this is your fun fact of the day. Your famous explorer for today that you might not know as much about as you should, why they're famous or recognized, is Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer who was the first expedition to circumnavigate the globe, to actually sail all the way around the world and come back to where they started. A sailor for probably most of his life, by the time he was in his early 20s, Magellan was already part of a fleet that was going from Portugal to Eastern Africa, already getting some experience on the sea. In 1517, he relocated to Spain so he could use his skills and abilities there, where he studied some charts and some maps and really started to get a feel for broadening his horizons. In 1519, he set out from Spain with the full support of the king, King Charles V. He set out to circumnavigate the globe. He set out with 5 ships that were actually not adequate for this kind of journey. So he had to keep to land a little bit. They sailed from Spain down to Brazil, did some restocking and resupplying. They kept to the coast all the way down to Tierra del Fuego, where an attempted mutiny actually happened when they got to the southern part of South America. A attempted mutiny left one ship destroyed and some of the crew dead. But not to be too deterred, they carried on with the 4 ships they had left, and they crossed the Pacific Ocean. Ferdinand Magellan also named the Pacific Ocean Mar Pacifico, translates to peaceful sea. It was October 1520 when they entered what is now called the Strait of Magellan, properly named. He was probably the first one to actually get there in this sense. That part of the journey through the straits took over 4 weeks, and during this part, one of his other ships deserted, turned around, sailed back home. So now they're down to 3. In March of 1521, Magellan's fleet stopped in Guam, so they've crossed the Pacific Ocean into the western part of it, or really now the far east part of it, because they crossed where the international dateline would be. On March 17th, he reached Hamanhan, an island in the Philippines, along with 150 crew members that were still with him and the 3 ships. There on that island, Magellan and his crew took part in a local conflict, and it left Magellan dead. The commander, Captain Magellan, actually died on the Philippines, April 27th. His body was never recovered. It had to be left there. They didn't have such good interactions with that conflict. Juan Sebastian del Cano and the remainder of the crew continued sailing westward, and they completed the expedition to circumnavigate the world. The next year, on September the 8th, the rest of Magellan's fleet arrived in Spain, proving empirically the world was indeed round. It can all go all the way around it. Altogether, approximately 230 sailors perished on this trip, and it took several years to do. So Ferdinand Magellan didn't actually himself circumnavigate the globe, but he got the expedition going that would circumnavigate the globe, so he gets the credit. And he made it like 2/3, 3/4 of the way. He got from Spain, around South America, across the Pacific Ocean to the Philippine Islands, where he was killed. Then the rest of his crew just had to sail the Indian Ocean and around Africa again. So probably close to 2/3. It's a long way to travel, especially by sailboat. Hope you've enjoyed this fun fact of the day. See you tomorrow.